With every season release and sandbox update comes a crazy new weapon or build that defines the meta. Oftentimes these builds feel almost mandatory to use if you want to even stand a chance in playlists like Trials or even Quick Play, since Quick Play feels like it has a multi-million-dollar prize pool these days. This season it seems like there's multiple Titan shields around every corner in PvP. They just cower behind it, nervously gripping their dead man's tail while waiting for any hopeless guardian to walk by. And if you're a hunter main, you're fed up with all these stupid Titans cranking 90s and turning the crucible into Fortnite 2.0. So I set out to find the most slept on hunter build in Destiny 2 PvP, one that would specifically counter shields, because you, hippity hoppity hunter mains, deserve a chance too. My name is Amps, and if you find this video helpful, dropping a like and subscribing would help a ton. Let's get right into the build. Hunters have a whole list of extremely powerful exotics in PvP, ranging from Worm Crutch Crown to Gyrfalcons, and yes, of course, to Stompies. But there's a pair of really strong exotic gauntlets out there that doesn't get nearly the amount of attention that it deserves. That exotic is Athrus's Embrace. Its exotic perk is called Skittering Stinger and reads, Weighted Knife gains a second bounce. Rapid precision hits with your weapon grant Weighted Knife a significant damage bonus and the ability to stun unshielded combatants for a short time. Another thing a lot of people don't know is those empowered knives can actually stun unstoppable champions, which is pretty cool. So the way this perk works is after landing 3 precision hits with your weapon within a span of 2.5 seconds, you will proc the perk Strengthened Throwing Knife. Every precision hit after those initial 3 will each give you 5 seconds of additional uptime on this perk and maxes out at a whopping 30 seconds. Strengthened Throwing Knife will actually give your knives a massive 100% damage bonus in PvP, meaning yes, they can one-shot to the body. But it also gives you another buff, which is actually not listed in the perk description for some reason, which is that your knives gain greatly, and I mean greatly, increased tracking towards targets after they bounce. And if that sounds like a good time, it's because it is. It's also important to note that with this exotic, you have to use your knives in a very different way than you normally would. This might sound crazy, but you're going to want to intentionally miss your knife. I know that sounds completely backwards, right? You're actually going to want to bounce your knife off of a wall or the floor near your enemy, because as I said before, you only get the aggressive tracking after it bounces. But if you do this correctly, it will lead you to getting some pretty improbable looking throwing knife kills like this. And since they track when you bounce them, this makes it perfect for killing that pesky Titan that's been sitting behind their shield for the last 45 minutes. But how do you maximize the uptime on this perk while also maximizing the uptime on your knife charge? Let's dive into that. So you might have noticed in the perk description, it doesn't matter if you get a precision kill or how much precision damage you deal, it's just the number of precision hits. So if you use a weapon that shoots a lot of bullets really fast, you would get a lot of time on this perk really quickly and really easily. This is why I recommend pairing Athrus's with either an SMG or a pulse rifle. You could even use an auto rifle if that's your thing. Anything that is a bullet hose will work great. This works so well, in fact, as you can see here, in just 1 kill of my SMG, I was able to get a full 30 seconds of Strengthened Throwing Knife. You can infinitely keep boosting your time as well by simply hitting more precision shots. So now that you'll have the perk almost up infinitely, how do you keep your melee charged? Well, good for us, the Solar Hunter subclass has great ways to build into melee recharge. You are going to want to run the aspect to knock them down, which is the aspect that buffs your solar supers, but it also has another benefit. That is, while you are radiant, kills with your knife will instantly grant you your full melee charge back. Okay, cool, but how do you get radiant often then? That's where the Fragment Ember of Torches comes in. This makes you radiant when you land a hit with your knife. This actually procs before the aspect knock them down, so it registers you as radiant and then it registers the kill after, which is very important because again, you only get your knife back if you're radiant before the kill. This exotic also only works with weighted throwing knife, so go ahead and equip that as well. So that is how you infinitely chain knives, but if you miss your knife, you're in trouble, right? Nope, this is why you want to run Gambler's Dodge, because if you dodge near an enemy, it will also instantly grant you a full melee charge. You could also run 100 strength with mods like Outreach or Melee Kickstart to further boost your melee recharge rate. So the gameplay loop goes as follows. You'll get precision hits with your fast firing weapon, which will proc the perk Strengthened Throwing Knife. And remember, if you need more time for this perk, you can always land more precision hits. Then you will run around and find your victim that will not be ready for what's coming. When you find an enemy player, you will throw your knife off of a wall or the floor near them, and it will track to them hard, leaving them dead in one shot. This will give you your knife charge back instantly thanks to our aspect and fragments, and then simply repeat that process. If you miss your knife, just dodge near an enemy to get it right back. Super easy to pull off, and honestly one of the most fun builds to run around with in the Crucible. So head out there, hunters, and with this build in your hands, you'll be destroying every Titan in your path. Together, we will take back the Crucible. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video.